Voice.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Giving Power to the Business Owner webinar series. And today we have our special guest, which is Don Workman. And Don is a financial consultant. But we wanted to bring this series to you guys so you all can be aware of what we're going to talk about. And mainly because you all need to understand it. If you are business owners, this is what this is catering to. So we can kind of educate you on what's out there as far as protecting you. Because a lot of us are leaving W-2 companies. Okay. And a lot of us have never worked for ourselves before. You're used to that benefit package being available for you. Well, now things are going to change because that benefit package needs to come directly from you. So, what Don is going to give us today is show how you can make your money, which basically that's what you do. But he's going to show you how to keep your money, to make sure that you have a retirement set up. He's going to give us some ideas of how we should do as far as taking care of ourselves as business owners. So if you all would, let's welcome Don into our webinar and our show today. And Don, if you would, give us a little bit about your background. And again, we want to welcome you for being part of this series.
Good afternoon, Jackie, and thank you for having me. Again, my name is Don Workman. I live here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area with my wife of 37 years. Let's see, 2 weeks will be 37 years. We got two grown daughters and a son-in-law. And my business is called Wealth Guard Solutions. I'm in the middle of getting my website redone, so we'll get that all scheduled and stuff. Uh, we're growing. We're getting there. We're making some good things happen. Um, I work with a good company out of California, but we'll just kind of keep this simple. But I've been in business about 35 years, and I've been a financial consultant for the last 5 years. And what I've found is, why would you get into this kind of business? Because like you as an entrepreneur, you found something you were passionate about. And I love helping people. A man of faith, I said, I want something I can do to help my family, but I also want to help those business owners. Most of the business I help are like 20 people or more. But you know what? The small businesses are the ones that are the lifebloods of our community. I think you'll agree that many of these small businesses are the ones that keep our families afloat, keep our neighborhoods going and build. And, down here where I live, the small businesses are really the lifeblood of our community.
Right.
So
And that's why we
I'm
have
really,
to really, not to cut you out, but what we really have to do, that's what the show is about, the small business. So let's step in some things that a lot of our small business don't understand, Don, and kind of work with that. Now, we know we want to talk about starting off as a business owner that have been in business. Is it a certain time? First of all, let's talk about what you provide to the business owner. As a financial consultant, what could you provide for them?
oh, okay, great. I've actually met, just a quick story. I've met with a CEO, fractional CFO the other day, and he says, what do you, he asked me a similar question. If you have partners, one of the things that I look at is a buy-sell agreement. Okay. What is that? We can talk about that in more detail. Another thing is if you got key personnel. So if you've got somebody who's very integral to your part of what you do,
Then
that's
you can
somebody you're
do.
gonna you're
So
gonna want to you're gonna
I
protect that.
exactly like, and I've worked with you before, so I know like you can help them with insurance. And so on that part, when you want to see what type of insurance you need to get for your business, I find that your business as a financial consultant can help. You can also, and we're gonna talk in detail of this, we can also help with your annuities and also with the 401k plan. Because remember, like I told you before, that we're now leaving that company where we already had benefits. How do we set up our own benefits? Now, let me say this to break in so everybody can understand. You have your financial advisors. We've heard of those. And then you have a financial consultant. So what is the difference between, and I want to give you the opportunity, Don, between a financial advisor compared to a financial consultant?
Okay. Just some real basic things. Um, the financial advisor, he gets paid every month whether you make money or not. I don't have that. I don't have that luxury. I don't do that because a lot of times they work in stocks and securities, and I don't work in those. What I do is I work in principal protection products, which would revolve around the life insurance companies. We talk about the annuities and the IULs and things like this. Those are the things that we help folks with that protect their principal and not have to and have a lot of the tax strategies to help them protect them from all the different tax laws are out there. And there's another thing. One thing that happened that the last downturn of the economy was like last November, and a lot of people lost money. I can say that none of my clients lost money last November. So I
Right.
think
So
that's a
that says
big
something pretty big to have that. But what we want to do is kind of more talk in general of educating everybody with how the financial consultant work and how the advisor work. Now I know you making talk on advisor because you're not a financial advisor. So I do want to give everybody, you did mention that it's more on the where they want to do investments and things of that nature. You're more of the, I guess, stable part of what you want to start with. Am I correct? Maybe insurance, annuity, and kind of like that to protect ourselves for retirement. Would you be more in that?
and partially you can start or you could be toward the end because a lot of us, you've got your rollovers and all that, which we'll get into. But as a new business owner, and if you've got employees, we can help you with those sort of things. Set up a 401k or whatever kind of retirement and life insurance. Even as a financial advisor, he'll deal primarily in financial type of stuff, stocks,
Right.
whereas I can help you with some of that, but I can do a lot of insurance as well. So we can do life insurance for you, for your business, for your employees, for your family, for your children. And, we do more estate planning, college planning, but the retirement planning is, which is huge for we're learning that and this is probably known to your audience, that 75% of our business owners are, their small businesses are underinsured. And,
That's right.
that's something you have to protect yourself as a business owner. Um, and I think that's part of the key things that make it different because we offer a little bit more. And, and it's not downplaying anything those guys do because they serve a
Right.
purpose. And
Right.
we work with a lot of those folks because we encourage people to diversify. So say if you got $100,000 and you got it in the market, but I want to protect some of that. I say 20 to 30%. So if you got 100,000, you put 20 to 30% in something that protects your principal against the downsides of the market. I think that really puts you in a good position to not have to
So
worry about scrambling should the market have a bad day.
let me
You're
ask
not
you
gonna
a
like it.
question then. You had mentioned
Sure.
something about you were not in the financial side, but it sounds like you mentioned the financial side. So the financial advisor, let me explain this for us. The financial advisor can handle the stocks and investments. Can you not handle, you don't handle the investments in the stock part, right?
You have to be licensed, correct. But I do know
Okay.
some folks that will do that I trust, but
But of
most of the
course, we just
99% of
talking
the
about
folks,
you. So
yes,
what you all do, right, as a consultant,
99% of the people
right?
I want, they want what I have. They have their guy, and that's cool. So what they do there is fine.
But
They
Don,
want the
let's say
security.
this, not interrupting, but what we want to say is you also, if because you are a financial consultant, you have attachments or partnerships with people in those fields that you can guide them. Now, let me say this
Correct.
about you guys so they can understand this about you. With a financial consultant, he's kind of like a planner. You bring what you have going on with your business and what's happening with you. He can help plan it out and direct you. It's things that he can actually do help you with insurance, annuity, and 401. But there are other things that you need to do to protect yourself and your money. He has that partnership, am I correct? That you can actually connect them to all those people
Correct.
as well. Now,
Correct.
right.
Think of it like a general contractor. He's going to build
Mhm.
your house, but he's going to have a sub that's going to be a plumber, electrician, what have you,
Right.
that he's going to trust. And the same goes for us too, because a lot of there comes time where I do need that expert in the stock market, and they want to do that kind of thing. Not very often, but when the time comes, I have those resources available.
Right, right. And that's what everybody understands. So let's talk about it. When it comes to, we're going to talk about the insurance, annuities, and the 401k. If you would give us, when it comes to insurance and having a business, what type of insurance should the business owners look for
Okay.
themselves?
We've got a few that we recommend for folks.
Okay.
The first one is general liability insurance, right? But
Right.
what that covers is your third party bodily injury, property damage, legal defense costs. Because if you got a little warehouse or a little business and somebody gets hurt on your property, that could be pricey, right?
Yeah.
And why does that matter though? It's foundational coverage. So this is like the bare bones basics, right? And
Okay.
one slip and fall in a lawsuit could financially devastate a business, especially a small business. And what it covers is your building, your equipment, physical assets, fire, theft, vandalism, and weather-related damages,
So that's
right?
just our general liability. Okay, that makes sense.
Sure.
What's the next one we should get? You think we should have?
Okay. Let's say workman's comp, right? You got employees, right? What does that do? Medical expenses and lost wages. We're familiar with that to a certain degree. It's lost wages for your employees, and the
Hmm.
employee liability for the workplace injuries that happens more times than we probably want to talk about. And why does it matter? It's required in most states. It protects both the employer and employee financially if you have on the job injury.
Right, which will work with that. Now let me ask you this: all this that you're mentioning, they can go through you and you can help get it, right?
Those
For your
not so much.
partnerships.
I partnership, yes, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay, okay. So you have partnerships to kind of help. Like I say, he's a consultant, guys. He can actually help direct you, which means we'll talk about how he get paid, which made a big thing for us starting off his business, how his business actually works. So what's the next one? I know you and I talked about like the insurance they should get personal, like UI. I think it's UI you said or IU in type of insurance.
Yeah,
So
we'll well, we're going to start with the generalized this topic that we're on. The
uh,
next one is the professional liability insurance. So, or
okay.
which we use as the error and omission. Now that tends to go towards if you're a consultant, advisor like myself, that helps you, claims against negligence, mistakes, or misused services. There's and I can tell you here in the state of Texas, if you get caught with fraud, it is not cheap, and you
So
could get
and
prison
that's the
time.
what is that one done?
That was called the E&O, errors and omissions insurance.
EO insurance. Okay, got you.
And that boasts retention, morale, tax efficiency, um, that kind of thing. So it's a good one and very necessary to have. But the
Okay,
next one is the cyber liability. Now, this one you may or may not be aware of,
that's
but
a
in the
new
recent
one.
years, yeah, even the small
Unique.
towns are starting to get cyber crime divisions because people don't seem to have
Wow.
nothing else to do but break into companies. And what
Is
does
that
that
right?
do? It protects you against data breaches, ransomwares, malwares, cyber attacks. One data breach can really impact your trust.
Okay, and
And
that's true.
I had that before. I must say, I admitted a couple of years ago I had that. Somebody hacked in and got my client's information, and that was ugly. So if you have any kind of intellectual property that you have, I would advise strongly. And I don't do that, but there's some good companies out there.
Okay, that'll do it. Thank you. Okay, so what else you
Sure.
think we need?
Those are the basic things. I think the next thing we probably should talk about a little bit would be the difference between really being covered because, oh, wait, I got coverage, but are you protected? That's something that we could probably dive into a little
That
bit
mean
more
okay. Well,
because,
let's do this before we go there, Don. I want to mention to
okay,
everybody. I know you didn't talk on it, but I'm going to say it from my personal being a business. With everything he's saying, which is wonderful, we really need to look at life insurance as a business owner. Not a life insurance just to be paying for a policy, just to pay it to be covered. But they have life insurance out here that you can actually do it as an investment and get some type of return on what you putting in. And they're called the universal insurance policy. Is that right? The
it's
name you
it's
are?
indexed universal life, and we were going to get into that. I wasn't sure if you wanted to
I'm
tackle that
ready.
now. She's ready. Okay, well, let
Because
me
it
kind of
goes
we
along with
can,
all the insurance that we kind of talked on. And I just don't want to
yeah,
miss that because I've seen that happen before and I want us to make sure we get it. So I do want them to know
okay,
about getting that insurance because let me tell you something, Don, and you probably know it too. As business owners, we in our business, we got a head down and we working real hard. And we
sure,
look up 10, 20 years later, and some things we have not put in place. So I
sure,
realized that type, instead of me doing whole life insurance, which that was better than term life, what was better than whole life was having something I can invest in and I can pull money out if I need it. So that's why I
okay,
wanted to make sure they knew that was out there and that was available. That's why I bought it at that point.
sure.
Okay.
We can tackle that a little bit. That's okay.
You don't have to.
Hey, I'm
Look,
here. I'm
I've
here for
already
you.
tackled it. You can go to the next one.
Okay, well, let me kind of expound a little bit
Okay.
for
Yes,
you
sir.
because what it really is It's a life insurance policy with tax deferred growth and protection from the downside of the market. And it has permanent insurance. Here's the thing. With term insurance, you're paying, it goes up. I had this recently where I was paying 60 some dollars, and when I hit 60, I look at it, it would go up to $1,000. This policy does this. This won't do that.
Right.
And it comes with living benefits. Now, a lot of companies will say they have living benefits, but it's typically just terminal. I've got a partner that does terminal life insurance, chronic injury or illness, critical injury. And they just had one for they just added Alzheimer's. If you got Alzheimer's, which God help those folks that do. I got a parent with dementia, and I wish this had been around for him. And these are things that they're added to the policy with no additional cost to you.
Oh.
And what'll happen is at each stage there's a percentage of your check of your policy that will be turned over to you, so you can use it for if you need to do medical. So if you're terminal, we'll just use terminal. If you're terminally ill for 24 months, you got they'll give you 90% of whatever you have, so you can take a trip, fix your house, whatever you need to do, no questions asked. And it's really, really been a great selling point for many of my colleagues and I, as we deal with our clients, regardless if it's a business or it's a family, because you know what? Protection is huge. And, everywhere you can get something that's a valuable tool and it doesn't break the bank, that's always an asset.
It is. And like you said, I know you said it's a selling point for you guys, but for me as a business owner, it is a point that I think business owners need to have. We need to look at it because of what it offers. Okay. That's what I think is great. So let's talk about, oh goodness, this one is great. The next thing that I know you kind of focus on is annuities. What is annuities? What's an idea to have an annuity and why? Can you explain that to us?
Annuities this is a tough one. I don't know if everybody's ready for this one. What is an annuity? It's a contract between the life insurance company and the policyholder. So one company we work with has been around since right around the Civil War. And they're standalone. They don't have outside investors, but what they do is they have great policies and great customer service. And so when I say that they're the life insurance company, if a life insurance company puts their name to something, you're going to expect them to hold on to it. They're going to hold their word, and they do every step of the way. And
okay, so you're trying to sell a company right now, right, Don?
I'm trying not to, but I am, aren't I?
All right, so come on, let's bring it back. So let's talk about annuities, because we know you got good companies. That's why you're here. But so annuities is a contract between you and the insurance company, right?
Correct.
How do we make money? How do we invest in it? How does it work? In general, just a general thing.
We're going to use the IUL because you brought it up.
Okay,
which would be great, because what happens is you've got a company that's got thousands of policyholders. All the money goes in a big tube. Policies, billions of dollars. What they do is they put a cap. You put a cap of say we'll use 15% up top and a cap of 0. Okay. So they'll put your money in the market. Okay. And the market has a great day. It has 30%. You know what? You'll get that 15%. And this is how the company makes money. That other 15% goes to the insurance company. That's how they make their money. So then on the flip side of that, you got 0. Okay, the market has a terrible day and it loses 10 points. Guess who takes the hit? The insurance company. So you get your stays at 0. And I like to look at it as 0 is my hero, because I'd rather be at 0 than lose money, because to lose 10%, you got to get 20% back just to make something. And it doesn't always come that quick.
Right. So annuities is something. When do you think we need to get those as business owners? Okay, so we get insurance. Let's say we get the insurances that you say we need, especially the cyber. Okay, so then it comes to annuity, because it's what, like a little investment. I need to look at, is that how I look at that? It's like it's a little investment with my money where it's making money for me? Or how should I look at annuities?
It's on a case-by-case basis. If you got like an old rollover, let's use that, because you can take that and put it into an annuity and what we call a single premium, to where you just put that in there and let it grow we're seeing an average about 8 to 12% on returns. And you could put that in there. What'll put us, it is a tax deferred program. You won't get to stop to pay taxes because Uncle Sam's funny about their money, but you'll be able to make that money and sock more of that away than lose it to taxes. And so we're finding that tool. Or if you're starting out, here's the thing too. You talk about little money. You can start out with a little money and you just pay a little bit each month. You got a little extra surplus in your account. You just $100 or $200, $1,000, whatever you want. And if you're really small, just getting started out, I don't have any retirement. We can set you up with a Roth 401k, or excuse me, Roth IRA, excuse me. And that's got some little bit of some requirements, minimals, 7,000 or whatever a year. But that's okay. It's okay. We can work with you.
All you're saying is also us keeping our money, protecting our money.
Exactly.
Instead of just putting it in the bank or in a savings account, you're saying, no, let's not do that. That's what you're saying. So we're protecting our account this way.
Now, see, I can't say, no, you can't do that because everybody's different. Some people like the idea of having it in the bank because it's more liquid. If you got it like in a CD, it's more liquid. 6 months, you can take it out.
Okay.
And so it all depends on the individual. I don't like to put blanket statements out because we've heard people say that the annuity is bad, but it can be if it's not done right.
We're just saying that we're just listing the choices for them. So the
Correct.
That's a choice compared to just putting in a savings account. You have it there. You have an option of where you put it here, and it's more protected, and it will grow for you, right?
Correct.
So that's where I was kind of go with, but I understand what you're saying on that. So I guess, like I said, we're trying to introduce this to our business owners because so many of us just do our business and we make our revenue, but we do not take time to pull money to the side. And that's where you come in at. I can tell you I have so much money to work with, and you can work a plan with me that would help me to actually do the goals that we come up with. Is basically having some money in retirement because I'm not from Social Security.
Exactly. And there's also 3 ways we can look at it, not just putting money away. How do you want to do it? Are you looking for income? Okay, this could be income. Or if you're looking for the growth, because if you're at that age where you're not ready to retire, but you want to get the most, or if you want to set up a legacy, you've got kids, grandkids, what have you. So yeah, there's many ways we can take a look and kind of guide you and help you make the best decision, And the great part is it's without mentioning anybody's name of who our carrier is, because what the point of this is to get you set up. And once it's like you make a sandwich, but you got to put the ingredients together to make the sandwich. You can't have the sandwich, So if I'm giving bread. If I'm giving you the meat before I know what size of bread we're going to use, I do a lot of food analogies. I'm so sorry. I'm a foodie.
That's okay. I like food too, Don. So this is where, like I said, I guess let's say this part, if it's okay to put this part in, how do you get paid compared to some of the financial advisors? Because I have talked to some business owners, and I think between me and you and nobody else, that it makes people hesitate. It's like, oh, that's just another expense. I can't really afford that. So I guess they need to understand, how do you work when it comes to them having to pay you? What does that look like?
My consultations are free.
There you go, you all. You heard them?
My consultations are free. I get paid from my carriers on the back end. There's no monthly charge if you make money or lose money with what I do. As a consultant, that's kind of the main difference, I think, because with an advisor, they'll get paid whether you make money or lose money. And I kind of feel weird about making money on somebody's losing money, right? So, but you know what? It's kind of art. I partner, like I told you about the company I partner with out in California, and they instilled in me that community service this is our way of giving back to a certain degree, because we feel that all this information we're sharing, everybody should have access to it, shouldn't pay for it.
Exactly. I agree. So that way I'm saying that because I want to emphasize that, because I do want my business owners to reach out, hopefully to you, Don, as a financial consultant, but if not you, a financial consultant. Start with them is what I found out that worked for me. Started with a financial consultant because it was nothing I had to pay for, and it was based on where we decided to do. But what I liked about what I had was a plan that led me into my investment side. But I had someone that was not pushing me to do this and pushing me to do that. It was more of, let me consult you. Let's go through what you want to do. And it was more of a relaxed thing. So I definitely encourage business owners to start with a financial consultant, and that works from that way. And then you can progress up as you grow and as you learn to do more. I mean, so that would be my suggestion to all of them. So let's talk about the next thing that you mentioned before the 401k rollover. We have business clients that have worked for companies, and now with everything going on now, Don, people are having to leave their jobs. They're getting fired, and they're kind of thrust in doing for self. So what do they do about a 401k or start a 401? I mean, what do they need to do? Give us some suggestions on that.
Well, let me just kind of throw this at you. A lot of business owners don't have a 401k, unfortunately, and there's a real opportunity of skipping it, right? What is the real cost of this? Tens of thousands of dollars in tax savings, right? Compounding growth, employee loyalty. And here's what people are missing: tax savings right now, right? Mm-hmm. Business owners can defer up to $68,000 a year. That's a 2024 limits. I'm not sure if they've gone up yet. I haven't looked that up. With a SEP, single entrepreneur pension. Mm-hmm. There's other plans as well. That money, they don't have to pay taxes and instead invest in themselves. Skipping it, you end up overpaying Uncle Sam in taxes. Wow. The compound growth over time, right? We've talked about the IUL and different annuities. It's a growth engine. It's a tax shelter. And delaying even 5 years could mean missing out on 6 figures in future income. So, right. And then you got the employee retention and recruitment. People want the benefits. Now, you may have benefits, and that's good. It's good to evaluate them every so often. If you're a small company, I don't know if many of them use they call PEOs. I can't remember what they stand for, but they're basically companies that help people with their benefits. So I think they do a lot in-house, and this is something we do. We consult with businesses, try to help them, guide them what's best fit for their company. You know, we talk about the small businesses, 20, 30, 40, 100, a couple hundred. That's what we do. We help them with that. And the retention and recruitment, people are saying, hey, you know, that's one area that I think that would be advantageous because they got a good benefits. Because I've had, you know, in my former career, you know, who had the best benefits, and you know,
right. We all look for that.
Salary's great, but if you got good benefits, that goes a long way.
So you can help at this point, the 401k. Now the rollover is for individuals that actually leaves a company, but you can help companies set up 401ks for their employees and things of that nature, right? Got them.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. We help them, or we're working on a new program right now. I don't have all the information on it yet, but we're always adding. When I say okay. I include my partner company because they do a lot of the legwork for me, which is I'm very thankful because they're the ones that kind of steer the boat, if it will, you know. Anyway, the 401ks, the SEPs, the single employer pensions, the Roth 401, Roth IRAs. I keep saying 401ks with that. We're on the 401k topic, right? So I think my brain needs to slow down. But yeah, it's whatever they need, we can help. We've even got some. One thing that we're running into with companies is employee debt. It's impacting how they perform because they're all stuck with this in their head. Mm-hmm. And we've been able to help those companies as well.
Now that's your debt. That's the debt management you can do, right?
Yes, that's the debt side.
Okay. Go ahead, Nat. Yes.
Okay. And you know, it doesn't cost anything for a consultation. If you decide to sign up, that's a different story. But it's all confidential. The company doesn't know about it. I just know who signed up. I know nothing else, right? So we offer that to them. If they need wills and trusts, we offer that. I don't do that. I have a team of legal specialists that take care of that for us. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of areas that people worry about that impact the business, you know, because if they've got kids to go to school or in school to get sick or whatever, it could be a million different things. But you get what I'm saying, though. Right. We have it with the business in mind, especially the smaller businesses that don't really either know where to go or they feel like they're gonna have to drop a serious dime to do it.
Yeah.
We have your back. We're here for you.
Right. And that's the difference. And that's why I was saying I really want to encourage everyone. Don will actually be on our website, tdjequityllc.net, where you all can connect with him. You can, if you want to, Don, put it in the in the conversation, the chat, your phone number and everything, because we do want you guys to reach out to Don, like you said, just to ask. And I'm saying this as a business owner that's been in business for over 20 something years. Guys, when I tell you, I left from working at the government Corps of Engineers to moving into private sector, the hotel, to moving into actually getting my own business. And this is where I found that road that I was on, I provided the benefits. And when I started my business, it was years before I realized, whoa, I need to have something set up for myself. And I thought, just like you just said, it was so expensive, I didn't want to fool with it. So I'm telling you, Don, you can meet with them. He can start out whatever your budget is. You can start with them, let them know. But guys, my thing is, just don't reach out or don't talk to anybody while you're doing this business. Let's try to allow go in and at least talk and find out what's out there to help us. Now, one thing I know is you have partnerships of what you work with, estate and wills. Can you help us along those lines as well? And how would
Yes,
that work?
ma'am. Well, I don't know all the skinny language, all the legal, but I can tell you this. You need to leave your stuff, be protected, because there's you heard about the superstars and the legal issues they've had. I've heard stories of,
Yeah.
I forget who it was, but they had 3 years they spent in probate. How about you? I want my family to get what's coming to them quicker than in 3 years. That's crazy, right?
Right,
And
right.
if you have it's good to have an estate. Get your, you can put your house in an estate. Now, I'm not legally speaking, but these are just examples of things I've heard about and just kind of my own research. But I have a legal team of lawyers, a team across the United States that can help you where you live. They're licensed in your state. These folks are doing a real great job of helping people protect their families. Because in the end of the day, if you're a business owner, most of you have families, grandkids, etc., and you want to make sure. I call it the Rockefeller effect. The Rockefellers set up the thing back in the day, like 1890s. He set it up, that they're still drawing money on it to this day,
Right.
which blows my mind. How many ever generations later they're still able to access it, and he's got a big
But they
trust
set
in the
it
state.
up like that years ago, and we can do it now. That's what you're
Oh,
saying, right?
exactly.
Right.
Yes,
So
and our legal team can help you do that.
So that's why I think when we were talking about this, is that I have had financial advisors and other people on the show, CPAs and all that. But the fact that you're a financial consultant, you're like, no, Jackie, I will go through and lay it out. I'm like, God, we got to pay you for everything you do. You're like, no, no, no. You don't have to pay me. What I'm going to do is sit down with you. It don't matter. And see, this is really great because you know what? A lot of us that's in business, we think, oh God, we got to have a whole lot of money in order to go talk to Dunn. I got to have my stuff together. Okay, how about that one? And that's not the thing. That's what you're there for, to help us to put it together. So guys, even if you have so much of a revenue that's happening, but you do have a revenue, you want to go in and start with Dunn so he can show you how you can start taking some of that money and start setting stuff up that you can see down the road. That's the big thing about you, because you do have partnerships. You are a financial consultant that work for them, but you can get them in touch and get them connected with all the people that can help them. Like you said, the debt management and the state wills. If you did, I did have someone send something to me and ask if you could explain more, Kevin, explain more how your debt management, like a business having debt management. She said, what is that and how does that work?
That's a little different for businesses than it is for individuals. So if you
Right.
have
This
a
is a
business,
business. Everybody's business that's talking.
right. But for this case, if you have a business, because there's a lot of people that have had businesses fail. I mean, a lot of business, and if you've got a business that's failed, then we can help you with that. If it's an active business, I'm not so sure, but personal, it's no problem. So that's kind of a little sticking point right there with that.
Okay, so I'm interested. So when you say a business failed, mean like if you had to close your business
Correct.
because of COVID, something like COVID,
Exactly. Yeah.
and you don't want that to personally go after you. So what you want to do is get with you to help deal with the debt instead of just
Yes.
walking
They'll
away and
help
leaving it
help with the
alone.
business. They'll help you with the business. If you lost your business in COVID, perfect example. And these businesses closed down, you can call us and say, look, I got whatever those bills are. Can you help me out? And I was like, I'll set you up with the specialist, and they'll be able to walk you through, say what they can and can't help you. And we've had a couple of them where they've saved significant amount of money to get them out of the,
appreciate it.
and they take care of that. Yeah.
See, so that's definitely something we need to know. That's what I'm saying. We don't know this stuff, Doug, until you
That's
say
okay.
something to us. So we do
And if you got
appreciate it.
student loans, if you got student loans and you're out of school and don't have no plan to go back, we can help you out with that too.
Now, is that
Just
on that's the individual side or just you do
yeah,
the
I mean,
business
business
side?
owners go to school. I mean, I went to school too.
So, but I'm
you know,
saying, can you do an individual calling you for debt, and can you do a business owner calling you for debt?
both. Yes.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Okay.
Okay.
That's good. So so you can do debt management for individuals and stuff. But even though, I know that's not, think about it, that's what you are. It's just we turned it where business people can know something. But definitely we want individual people to know too, to reach out to Don as well, because you can kind of help us on that individual journey of getting ourselves together.
Oh yeah, we do a lot of individuals, families, and businesses. But the business communities were kind of like my niche, if you will.
Right.
And helping them save money, like I mentioned briefly, the supplemental program we have. When you talk about saving money, we've got a 120, the section 125, the IRS code. It's basically a tax code to help businesses save money in payroll taxes. And you can have more than one. But what ours does, it gives the employer a $500 credit for each employee they have, puts 50 to 60 bucks back in their employee's pocket. Plus, it provides a telemedicine app that includes mental health and a dedicated doctor, nurse at no additional cost as well, at a net zero cost to your company. And oh, by the way, my company takes care of all the administration, the implementation, and all that kind of good stuff.
Wow. See?
And I'm working with a company right now that if it works out, we're in a very strong possibility. They'll save $1 million a year in payroll taxes. Wow. And their money, their people will get taken care of. Here's one story for you. With this program, what it does, your health insurance is, I'm gonna use my hands, I'm a demonstrative guy. Your health insurance is the castle. What our program does is the moat, because it helps cut back on healthcare costs. Because the prescription costs will get you. And sitting in the doctor's office and having a dedicated telemedicine doctor, nurse, whatever, when you're at 2:00 in the morning, got a sick kid. We have a lady who previously had spent $1,400 on medical expenses for her and her 3 kids. This was 2 years ago. Last year, she spent $1,200.
Wow.
Because here's the thing too, if you've already got health care, what this online method will do, they'll work with your doctor you have through your healthcare. So if you're sick at, if you're sick at 3:00 in the morning, your kid's sick, they'll help set you up an appointment for the next day so you can get in there. And the prescriptions are very low cost, wholesale costs of thousands of different ones for, insulin and all that kind of good stuff, which that are not
basically
cheap.
It's just options out there we're not aware of. And like you said, the $4,800 woman just kept it going until she got you guys and found out we can save. And that's what giving power back to the webinar series about. Educating people what's out there and how you can reach out. We're not just putting it out here. You guys can reach out to Don and get that kind of worked out. So let me ask you this, Don, before we get off and everything. What is something, and I want to give this opportunity. I want you to give something, your last words of encouragement, or what you want to say to business owners, and then I want you to give me a last word of encouragement for people as individuals and persons as well for working with financial consultants.
For business owners, I want to say I hope this has been educational. It's not, if you know it already, that's great. But 90% of us don't. And you don't know what you don't know. It's nobody's fault.
Right.
But I commend you for being where you are in your journey. It may not be where you are. I mean, I'm not where I want to be there. But the fact that you took that step, and I want to encourage you to build your brand, take care of yourself and your employees, and I wish you much success.
Okay, that's for the business owners.
And for the individuals, hey, you got to take care of those families. I got a family, you got a family, and, we can help you. You got a college planning, you want to plan to get your estate, you got debt that's just driving you nuts. We can help you. These are things that are very important to us. Life insurance is what everybody thought what insurance was. When you think of it, you think of the guy from Groundhog Day. The guy would come bothering you. Times have changed. We don't do that.
Oh,
We enjoy building relationships with folks, and we want to be here for you. And we wish everyone the best of luck in their endeavors. And we work with a lot of different folks. And I'm not for everyone. I get that. I have a personality that can be a little much at times, but I
oh,
all
Don, you're a
serious,
good
and
one.
I got a big heart to help people,
You do.
and I look forward to hearing from you if you need me.
All right. Well, we want to thank you, Don, so much for your information. I know we don't always have a lot of, we just have a little bit of time. We try to put in so much, so we have to kind of keep it going. And I thank you for dealing with my break-ins and breakouts that I do, but I'm trying to move us through, and I appreciate you. You followed along just great. What I want to say to everybody for is a practical takeaway with this, that I know in the world we're dealing with the financial advisor and financial consultant. What I want each person to always do, let's look at what the financial advisor has, the financial consultant, what their experience they have, what they can offer to us based on their services. It's not just a title, but sit down and talk to whoever you're looking at. Like I said, Mr. Dunn gave us a lot about him, and see if it's a match for you. What I don't want us to do as business owners, we need to stop not doing anything. That's what we hope this gives you, encourage you guys not to, and to reach out to us. Again, Dunn, thank you for being here, and I appreciate you. Yes, sir. You want to say something?
Just
Go ahead.
one quick thing to you, to the business owners: go ask your advisor if he can put guarantees in writing for your money. That's
Okay.
almost like
Well, thank you again, Mr. Dunn, for being here. We appreciate
yes,
you
ma'am.
so much.
I
You all
appreciate you
have a
having me.
good day. Yes, thank you. You all have a good day. And until next time on Giving Power to the Business Owner, we will see you then. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.